Hello everyone. In this lecture we are gonna cover AS number 2. AS नंबर 2 देखेंगे सर इस वाले लेक्चर में। कोशिश करूँगा कि पूरा AS नंबर 2 ख़त्म कर दूँ हाफ एन आवर के अंदर अंदर। सारे AS मैं बहुत जल्दी कवर कराने की कोशिश कर रहा हूँ अपनी हर एक वीडियो में। सो इन एवरी वीडियो आई एम ट्राइंग माई बेस्ट टू कवर ऑल द AS थ्रू माई समरी नोट्स एट बेस्ट पॉसिबल एंड लेस टाइम. So AS number 2 we will be talking about today. The full name of AS2 is valuation of inventories, but I have written here only inventories due to the less of the storage in the presentation, right? So we will be talking about AS number 2 today. So basically AS, every AS has its origin from अकाउंटिंग प्रिंसिपल्स ओनली. हर एक एएस का जो ओरिजिन हुआ है वो अकाउंटिंग प्रिंसिपल से ही कहीं ना कहीं हुआ है. सो व्हाट आर अकाउंटिंग स्टैंडर्ड्स बेसिकली? सो बेसिकली अकाउंटिंग स्टैंडर्ड्स आर सम ऑफ द यार्ड स्टिक्स or I can say some of the benchmarks that are fixed by ICAI in India to make sure that the financial statements show a true and fair view of the business, right? But as we have studied in our foundation level, or I can say in our lower classes like 11th class, the very first class of commerce, or if you have come into professional courses from graduation like BSc, then do not worry, you might also have learned about this concept called as, or I can say you have also listened about accounting concepts. So basically there are many concepts in accounting, but as we know these are only concepts and these are optional to follow. So some of the businesses are not following the concepts properly, or I can say that they are saying that it is optional to follow those concepts and we are not following such concepts. Then it makes very hard for an accountant to analyze the financial statement because of its in uniformity, because of different aspects of different persons, because they are not following the same concept. The financial statements of every person, or I can say each another person, is different from each another's financial statement. So this was very hard for an accountant to find out or to analyze all the statement at an instance, because in early stages there were less accountants and more of the financial statement analysis work was pending. So to eliminate this problem, ICAI came forward and made rules named as accounting standards. And these accounting standard has to be followed by all while preparing financial statements. So basically the concepts to make people follow concepts of accounting, AS has been introduced, and each and every AS has its origin from the concept of accounting, right? Because concepts were not followed by the people, that is why AS has been made in order to make people to follow the concepts. So if you talk about AS number 2, so how and from where it is originated? So AS number 2 has its origin from a concept named as prudence. If you do not listen about this concept, it has many names, basically prudence, conservatism, and so on. So it talks about valuation of inventory. If you remember, it talks about valuation of inventory, right? So it says that stock will be valued at NRV or cost, whichever is lower. So it says it all, right? So as I have told you, AS number 2 has its origin from the prudence concept. So the same rule has been applied in AS number 2. AS2 also says that stock, or I can say instead of stock I can say inventory, must be valued at NRV or cost, whichever is less. But the main thing or the main point that has been added in the AS is, what do we mean by NRV? The AS also explained what do we mean by NRV. The AS has also explained what do we mean by cost of inventories. The AS also has introduced, or I can say AS has also defined what do we mean by inventories. So these are some of the points that are apart from the concept. Concept only told us that NRV or cost. And in those days, in the early classes or in the foundation classes, we had given the values of NRV and cost already in the question. Just we had to analyze whichever is lower. But now you have to also see what comes into NRV and what comes into cost and what do we mean by inventories. So let's get started. It has its origin from prudence. Do not forget this principle, right? So let's get started. Now this is the short note as prepared by me. Okay, so let's get started with this short notes and it will help you out a lot, right? See, I will read from the objective part. So what is the objective of this particular accounting standard? To formulate a method to determine the value of inventories that would be shown in the balance sheet or in the financial statement. So basically in the financial statement, I am reading it here. So what is the objective of this is to incorporate this as the motive or the purpose of the ICAI was to formulate a method to value inventories which will be shown in the financial statement and that will eliminate or that will make uniformity into the financial statements of various concerns. Right now, what does inventory include and what does inventory exclude? It is very important. It can be asked in MCQ type or it can be asked in normal type question. So what do we include in inventory and what do we exclude in inventory? So finished goods are included in inventories. Obviously, if you produce something, that will be included in inventory. The raw material for finished goods, only for finished goods, will be included into inventory. If you ask me if there are other raw material also apart from fixed of finished goods, raw material for finished goods means the raw material which will be used in the production of finished goods. So there are other raw material as well for basically I can say machineries and not for finished goods. So there are basically raw material for machinery that will be used into machinery. So these will not be included into inventories part. WIP, work in progress of finished goods, which will be finished goods in the future. If you do not know the meaning of WIP, let me tell you the meaning of WIP. WIP means work in progress. Work in progress. So if I take you deeper in the concept, you will see there are 3 stages of production. The first one in raw material. We purchase raw material, then we convert it or we process it. It becomes WIP, work in progress. So it is at this stage, it is not either raw material, but it is not either finished goods. So from raw material it becomes WIP and from further process it becomes finished goods. So all these 3 are a part of inventories. Consumable stores are also part of inventory. Machinery spares, multi-purpose. See, we have spares for machinery. Spares means part of machinery that will be used in the need. So we will only include in inventories those spares which has multi-purpose. What do we mean by multi-purpose? Suppose this is a spare which will be used into a machinery. Right, this is a machinery and this spare will be used. So this spare, suppose this spare X can be used into this machinery, can be used in other machineries, or I can say this spare can be used in all the machineries, then it will be included into inventories. But for an example, this spare is specially, let me make a new spare for you guys. Suppose this is a spare, new spare, and this is specially made for this machinery only and it will not be usable for other machineries. Then if it is exclusively made for this machinery A, it will not be included in inventories. So the spare part which will be included in machinery will only the spare part which has multi-purpose to perform or which can be used in all the machineries, right? So we exclude from here fixed assets, we exclude spare parts of what? Spare part of exclusive purpose, servicing equipment, standby equipment. So we exclude these all because these are dealt by AS number 10, property, plant and equipment. So in property, plant and equipment it will be dealt, not in inventories part. Okay. So now you are getting that from the accounting concepts, from the prudence concept, basically your concept is prudence. From prudence basically you are uplifting your knowledge, because in prudence it was only mentioned that we have to value the stock at cost or NRV, but we were not be able to find out what do we mean by cost or what do we mean by NRV. Now we have got the point what we will do, what we will mean by inventory, and what is included in inventory and what do we exclude in inventory in the definition of inventory basically. Now, as I have told you, inventory valued at cost or NRV, whichever is less. And what do we mean by NRV? The estimated sale value as minus estimated cost of production of such item. Suppose I have made a product X and I know that these kind of products can be sold, or expected selling price of this product is 1000, and the cost of production means the cost that has been incurred or that has been expensed over the period of time to produce such good is, let's take 800, then 200 will be my profit, and NRV or cost whichever is lower is 800. So the inventory will be shown as 800 and not as 1000. Now NRV is very simple concept, but what do we include in cost of inventory? What do we include in cost of inventories? So as you can see here, we only include cost of purchase, cost of conversion, other costs incurred to bring it to use. So basically we include in cost of inventory three things. What are those things? So the three things is cost of purchase, cost of conversion and other costs incurred to bring it to the use. So cost of purchase means purchase price itself, duties and taxes that has been implied or that is imposed on such purchase price, plus direct expense on purchases, manner discount, rebate, etc. So what is purchase cost? Purchase cost consists of purchase price that you has paid for the inventory, purchase price plus any tax like GST if you have paid, plus direct cost, where direct expenses we can say, which is carriage inward, all the inward portions we can take here, and we can minus the recovery of duties and taxes, or basically we can say the incentive or discounts, the rebates that we have received from the seller. Now what do we mean by cost of conversion? See, we have purchased something called raw material and we will put the resources into it and we will convert the raw material into finished goods. So the resources that we put in has some cost associated with those resources, and by using those resources we incur a specific amount of cost, and it is the cost which is known as conversion cost. So conversion cost also included in the cost of inventory. So direct production cost plus fixed variable overhead apportioned. So we have direct production cost. So direct production cost means material, labor and expenses, direct expenses basically we can say. Okay, and fixed and variable overhead apportioned. So we can apportion in overhead costing. We have learned that how to apportion fixed and variable overhead. up to a single item or single inventory. So this will be dealt by that concept only. Now, so you do not have to worry about this, because in the questions you will not be asked to apportion fixed and variable overhead onto the inventory. Generally it is not asked, because AS number 2 has a limited set of questions that will be asked into examination, and we will discuss it also later on. Other costs incurred to bring it to use: storage cost, admin cost, selling and distribution overhead, borrowing cost. So borrowing cost, for borrowing cost you have to refer to AS number 16. Other cost, so basically to use the inventory, I will incur some other cost as well. Like, so the day when I purchase the raw material is not the day when I utilize all the raw material, right? If I purchase the raw material today, it will be used day by day by day, and for that I have to store this raw material into a storeroom, or we can say go down. The storage cost will be there because the rent will be paid by us. So this is the other cost that has to be paid to make the inventory usable, right? And this will also be included in the cost of inventory. Now, what do we, or we can say, what are some of the formulas that we have to calculate cost? So to calculate cost, we have basically two set of formulas. The first set is specific identification method. By seeing you can check out each inventory and cost them, or you can value them. You can calculate the cost of such inventories by specifically seeing them particularly. But when it is not practically possible to compute by specific identification method, we have given in AS number 2 some other methods also. So the first method is FIFO, the second method is weighted average cost, standard cost, and retail method. So these are specific methods provided by AS, and each and another method has its own significance. For FIFO, basically FIFO works on first in first out. In your inventory, whatever came first or purchased first will go first. So this is like that. Suppose you have purchased X, then Y, then Z. So first in first out says that the excess came first in the inventory and it will go out first, right? So the FIFO method basically used when you cannot differentiate between the products, or the products are identical in the nature. Specific identification method can be used in antique items, because antique items are not large in quantities and can be specifically seen and can be differentiated between the two products. But when we talk about FIFO, we cannot differentiate between two products, or the products are of same nature in the large quantity as well. For an example, if we talk about vegetable seller, so vegetable seller has all the products same like, and you cannot specifically identification, and you can not apply specific identification method onto that. Weighted average cost, and where does it apply? Under this method, the cost of each item is determined from the weighted average of similar items, right? Now we have standard cost, takes into account the normal level of consumption of material, labor, and capacity. So basically standard costing, it is like standard costing. So a cost is fixed at normal capacity considering material, labor, and direct expense cost. Then we have retail method, used for a large number of items that have similar margins. Suppose a seller has a large variety of products that have similar margins. Margins means profit. Then he will use retail method as prescribed by the AS number 2. So these two methods, standard cost and retail method, will be used as technique of measurement. Okay. Now the last point, what are some of the disclosure requirements? So if you have followed AS number 2, it also tells you that what are the specific disclosure requirement in the financial statements. So the first disclosure requirement is accounting policy is used. Basically, what accounting policy have you used in your business? Then cost formula used. Cost formula from these four methods, and also this five, the fifth one. Classification of inventory. Classification of inventory, we can say raw material, WIP, finished goods. Like this, you have to classify the inventories. So this was all about AS number 2, and we will talk about the questions. We will talk about the questions in the next lecture. Till then, please revise the AS number 2, and you can grab this awesome summary notes. In one page, you can revise all the points of AS number 2. Just you have to drop a message on that particular number. You will get the notes at the speed of air. Thank you for watching, and do not forget to subscribe the channel, because it is the only way you can support us into our work. So if you have liked the video, please do not forget to share it also with your friends or the needy ones. Thank you, and bye bye.